Assalamu alaikum dear students. Again I am here with the second class of Unit 2 and Lesson 1. In my last class I started with the headlines and I also discussed some part of this passage, and there I discussed the questions that you are supposed to discuss among yourselves, and especially this part I discussed in my last class, right? So students, let's start today. We are going to discuss the artificial heart. So artificial means something that is created by human being. It's called artificial. So here, heart is a highly important part of our body, and without heart, we can't live for a single moment. So that is the reason we always emphasize on heart, and across the world, a lot of people die every year because of heart stroke and heart failure. So that is the reason, students, I think this topic is highly important, and one person has created a heart. That means sometimes we see some people suffer from the problem of heart, heart related problem, that is called cardiovascular diseases. So whenever a person loses his heart, or he finds some problem in his heart, it may be that he need a new heart, but because of the lacking of that creation, for a long time people died across the world, and now people are getting a new heart. If they can afford, they can buy a new heart and they can use it for a long life. So here we will discuss artificial heart. So let's see. There is nothing that piques the interest of a human being. Here the writer says that there is nothing that piques the interest of a human being. That means uh, here you should be clear about the word piques. Piques means attracts. So there is nothing that piques the interest of human being. Nothing you will find in the world that piques the human being more. Here he says, quite as much as the prospect of living a longer life. If somebody asks you, what do you want? A long life or thousands of or crores of money? What do you want? Then obviously you will want a long life, because without life your money will not have any value. So that is the reason your life is more important, and if you get more time to live on the earth, you will obviously grab that one. So here the writer says that obviously nothing is there that piques more than the possibility of a longer life. Implanting a person with an artificial heart in 1982. So it was 1982 when a person was implanted with an artificial heart. It was really an extraordinary step, and obviously implanting a person with artificial heart is an extraordinary step towards increasing the human lifespan. So before the invention of artificial heart, a lot of people had ability to buy a heart, to spend a lot of money for heart, but they didn't get anything. They didn't get any artificial heart. That is the reason they couldn't survive in the earth. So that is the reason it is really a great extraordinary step, because we are now getting more lifetime. We are getting more time to live on the earth because of this artificial heart. And who created this and who was implanted? Now we will get the information. Here we see a Seattle-based dentist, Seattle-based, and his name was Dr. Barney Clark. Was the first person implanted with the Jarvik-7. So here you should notice carefully, that is Dr. Barney Clark, and he was the first person who was implanted with artificial heart. Actually, you should be careful about it, that he didn't create artificial heart. He was the patient, and heart was implanted in his body, and he was the first patient to take artificial heart in his body, right? And the name of that artificial heart was Jarvik-7. You see here, Jarvik-7. And it is, what is Jarvik-7? Now the question is, what is Jarvik-7? It is an artificial heart intended to last a lifetime, and the heart was implanted in his body. The artificial heart was implanted in his body, and it was intended that the heart will last a lifetime. Until the person die, it will last. there will not be any problem in that artificial heart. It was intended. The Jarvik 7 artificial heart was designed by Robert Jarvik, and its inventor was Robert Jarvik. I mean, it was designed, it was made by Robert Jarvik. Here you see the word design. Design means created or made by Robert Jarvik. Though the patient survived 112 days, and after the implantation of that artificial heart, the patient lived or survived only 112 days. It was a huge step towards the development of heart transplant surgery. Though the patient died after 112 days, actually it was a great step towards increasing the lifespan of human being. So obviously we can call a greatest achievement. This is really a greatest achievement of the time. So after that you will see, so generally you will see when something is created or any kind of scientific achievement or any kind of machine is created, at the very beginning or at the first time that creation is not highly improved, but gradually other people improve that one. So then it was created, and for the first time it lasted for 112 days. I mean, the person could live 112 days more with that implanted heart. And later the quality of artificial heart was improved. The quality was increased, and now we find a more improved version in the world, right? And one day more advanced versions of artificial organs will likely allow us to live much longer and more productive lives. And here the writer says that it was invented during the time and it lasted and it was effective for some times. But one day upper version will come, a better version of that heart, especially the artificial heart will come, and we will be able to use it and to lead long life, to live a long time, right? And our life will be more productive. And when we get there, I mean, when we get that kind of heart, we will owe a lot to Robert Jarvik's artificial heart. Obviously, then we'll be highly grateful to Robert Jarvik's artificial heart, and ultimately to Robert Jarvik, right? Because his heart was the first one. I mean, his creation, the heart that he created, that was the first one. And at the same time, we are also thankful, we are also grateful to Robert Jarvik, because without his creation, without the creation of artificial heart, it may be that we would not get a better version. And that is the thing here. So students, here I have discussed artificial heart in short time, and I have tried to give you some idea. That means in the first idea you see the expectation of living a better life always will attract the attention of people, and nothing will attract a person's attention more than the living for a long time. And for that reason, in 1982 it was really an extraordinary step when artificial heart was invented, and in a person's body that heart was implanted, and the name of that person was Dr. Barney Clark. He was a dentist, and the inventor of that heart was Robert Jarvik. And that person, I mean the patient who was implanted with that heart, lived 112 days, and it was really a huge step towards the development of artificial heart, right? And the writer expects that one day we will get a better version of artificial heart, and then we will be highly grateful to Robert Jarvik. So that's all, students, for today. In the next class I will try to discuss another scientific achievement, and it may be that what will come later, let me see, cell phone. Yes, cell phone is most important one, and in the next class I will discuss cell phone. And I think, students, you will practice at your home so that you can also improve the quality of your studies and you can understand English well. So students, till then, bye bye.